Well, the Me Too movement continues to expose some of its biggest advocates. Amazingly enough, Hillary Clinton's former campaign chair has confirmed in public that Clinton intervened to protect a harasser against the wishes of women on her staff. You couldn't make that up if you tried. We've got details next.
He had a long-time fear of being poisoned. One reason why he liked to eat at McDonald's. Nobody knew he was coming, and the food was safely pre-made.
That's it. We've got it. That's the one.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
The Grammy's in the bag?
In the bag.
Hillary Clinton was a big star at the one place she would be a big star, the hyper-politicized Grammy Awards. If you missed the Grammy Awards, you were not alone. Many people did. Ratings fell to record lows last night. It was fitting that Hillary Clinton would be celebrated by show business. She's got one thing in common with Hollywood. Both of them appear to have a sexual harassment problem. Patty Sleece Doyle, who you may remember managed Clinton's 2008 presidential campaign, not a staffer on it, she managed it, campaign manager. She said today that she wanted senior advisor Bernie Strider fired for sexual harassment, but Hillary wouldn't have it. Watch.
I did my due diligence. I interviewed all the parties involved. I looked at the evidence. I looked at some emails that he had sent. I had looked at other documents and came to the conclusion that there was sexual harassment involved, that the young woman was very credible, and my recommendation to the senator was to fire her. And I was overruled.
So she overruled you personally?
I was overruled, yes.
Wow. Meanwhile, Hillary also praised women in a video that we're not going to characterize, but instead play, and you can decide for yourself.
Hey, everyone. I just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for your feminism, for your activism, and all I can hope is you keep up the really important good work.
Can you say the name of the activist bitches supporting bitches?
And let me just say, this is directed to the activist bitches supporting bitches. So let's go.
Mark Stein is on tonight to receive thanks for his feminism and his activism. He's an author and a columnist, and he joins us. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Tucker. Good to see you.
What do you make of that video?
Well, that last one I think is kind of pathetic because it's like watching some weird kind of Golden Girls on Meet the Press, where you've got old broads. Or Betty White doing a rapping granny routine. It's kind of pathetic, the kind of old broads talking dirty thing, and it's not just pathetic, but it's actually ridiculous on the day that Hillary has been exposed yet again, not as a champion of women, but as an enabler of men who prey on women.
Well, see, that was the thing. It wasn't even the naughty word that bugged me. She's got a salty mouth. I kind of like that about her. It's like the one thing I like about her. What bothered me was that she describes herself as a feminist, and I'm thinking, well, compared to you, I'm the feminist. If there was some guy in my office who was hassling women in the office, I'd can him. She didn't. So how does she get to be a feminist?
Well, you'd almost get the impression that if you've turned a blind eye to one predator for 40 years, it becomes very easy to turn a blind eye to all of them. And in that sense, that's what she shares with those people at the Grammy Awards, that it's a power thing. It's a class thing and it's a power thing. And that's the way it's always been. The women that Bill Clinton hit on, whether they were interns or whether they were low-grade staffers, she regarded them as trash. Her advisor said, you drag a $100 bill through a trailer park, there's no telling what you'll find. And that's what she and guys like Harvey Weinstein are all agreed on. And it's a problem for the Democrat Party. Kirsten Gillibrand, who is apparently serious about running for president, was on TV, I think it was today or yesterday, and she was doing her thing, oh, you know, believe all women, zero tolerance, all the rest of it. And then she was asked, well, wait a minute, what about Hillary Clinton? Because she's still worried that the Clintons are powerful enough to take the tire iron to her in the back alley. It would be in the interests of the Democrat Party for them to tell Hillary Clinton, stop doing your Catskills, leaden Catskills shtick on TV every 10 minutes and go to the Falkland Islands for the next 3 years, and you might give us a sporting chance.
Leaden Catskills shtick. It took 48 years for me to hear that phrase, but I'm so glad it was worth the wait.
Tucker, politicians should do comedy, and if they do it, they should do it once every 30 or 40 years. Hillary's doing every show. She should say, I'm not going to do it again until the year 2057. She'd be doing us all a favor.
Mark Stein, you've done us a favor. Thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.
Julie Alvin is Digital Lifestyle Director at Time, and she joins us tonight. Julie, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to talk to you about this because I know you're a feminist and I think you're smart.
I hear you're a feminist these days.
Well, actually, compared to Hillary, I am a feminist, and that's the kind of striking thing. I mean, at a certain point, you think, well, what does it mean to be a feminist? I thought it was to kind of be for equality for women, to be on the side of women. Someone attacks women, you stand up for women. I mean, if those are the qualifications, then I certainly qualify, and she doesn't. So I'm starting to think maybe it's really about abortion. The more you're for abortion, the more you're a feminist. If you're against abortion, you're not a feminist. I think that's true, isn't it?
I think you're missing the point. So, look, if these allegations against Bernd Strider are true and they were brought to Hillary Clinton and she did not have him removed from the campaign, that is not something that I can defend. That is disappointing, and I would hope that she would make a different decision today. That's not something that I am going to defend her for.
But why is it not appalling? Wait, hold on. Why is it, you say you're not going to defend it as disappointing. Why is it not disgusting? So her female campaign manager, Petty Sleaze Doyle, who I think is a person of good faith, I don't think she's lying, said, I told her, you got to fire this guy. He's hassling this woman. And Hillary said, no, if it was anybody else, wouldn't we say that's, like, wrong? Isn't it worse than disappointing?
It is wrong. I believe that she should have fired this man. I think that, we're seeing, obviously, people across media and Hollywood and government facing repercussions for their actions and losing their jobs in the wake of this huge wave of sexual harassment that we're learning about, although I will make the point that our president has been accused by 19 women of behavior like this, and he remains the president of the United States. But anyway, that aside, Bernd Strider should have lost his job.
But hold on, you're right. And he said the other day, he's like, I'm not a feminist. It doesn't give him a pass, but at least he's not a hypocrite. If Hillary says she's a feminist and she puts up with her husband, who's accused of rape, by the way, credibly, and then puts up with this harasser in her office, why does she get to call herself a feminist? I'm totally confused. I'm serious.
I mean, I think that if you would like to call yourself a feminist in comparison to Hillary Clinton, I would ask, did you fight for the Paycheck Fairness Act? Did you pass the Violence Against Women Act? Did you pass the No Ceilings Initiative that put $600 million towards education for women worldwide?
But I treat actual living women well, and she doesn't. So why doesn't that make me more of a...
I believe this is an error. This is a black mark on her record. It's disappointing. I am not defending that action at all, but I do not think that it erases a lifetime of legislation that supports women.
Not a life. She wasn't in Congress very long, actually. It's not a lifetime, but it's a short window. I think it was 8 years, but whatever. Okay. She was never in Congress except for a term and a half as senator from New York. But here's the point. She, in a number of different provable ways and instances, she attacked women who tried to report sexual harassment by her husband. She made excuses for a guy accused of rape. If I did that, I would expect to be attacked, and she's lauded as a feminist hero. I'm just wondering, like, what's the line? Like, what can't you do if you're Hillary to lose your feminism
I think that she has been attacked for the way that she, is behaving in this situation, or behaved in this situation during her campaign. Again, I absolutely think that it's upsetting and disappointing that she did not have this person immediately removed from her campaign. There's certainly questions about the way she acted towards her husband's accusers, although some of that has not been legitimately corroborated. But it does not erase a lifetime of service for women when it comes to equal pay, when it comes to women's health care, when it comes to education.
No, I know you like the legislation, but like, would you say Ted Kennedy, who killed a woman, was he a feminist?
I don't know that I could comment on Ted Kennedy's feminism. That's a good question.
I don't know. I mean, when he died, he was lovingly written about, eulogized by the left as a champion of women. And I thought, well, there were good parts about Ted Kennedy for sure. I kind of like Ted Kennedy personally, but he killed a woman. He literally killed a woman. There's no dispute about that. And then he lied about it. How does he get to be a feminist? That's my only question.
I'm not calling him a feminist. I'm calling Hillary Clinton a feminist, despite her misgivings.
Well, you got to call me one, too, and I hope when you come back you will, Julie.
I don't know. You're going to have to prove it to me. You're going to have to prove that to me.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.